starting the process, what I'm trying to explain here. So, as I am the professional in DevOps and cloud in GCP, so I don't get much time to prepare. So, whatever I am doing in industry, I'm showing you one demo for this class. Once the demo is okay, and then we go for the class, then we start from the basic. Okay. So, if everyone see my screen, just say yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So, as you see, this is the flow diagram, standard flow diagram, which current in our current project, which we are following, like developer lead, DevOps, and BA testing. These are the four phases in which software life cycle is going. Okay. So, if I want to brief a little bit, so when we start the software now, so we need basic thing is some kind of repo. Like in most of the organization, we use GitHub repository. Okay, so there we cut the branch, or we use also Jira. Jira is one kind of ticketing system where we manage the thing, how what kind of developer working on which story, which issue. Okay, so accordingly, Jira ticket is created. So if there is any kind of issue or any kind of new development, so developer first of all cut from their main branch, from the master, and start doing the development work. And once the development work is complete, then it's go for the review. Okay, so once the review is also done, then if it is passed, so we call PR. PR is approved. Then we merge into the main branch, mainly development branch or branch strategy. I also explain little bit, but in this class more I just want to explain whole structure, and then some practical. Okay. So once PR is approved, then it merge into the main branch, mostly the development branch. Okay. Then if there is no conflict, or if there is conflict, then we need to resolve the conflict, and then one ticket will generate to DevOps team. Okay, this code is ready in this branch. Now we need to uh, download that particular branch, or make a CI/CD pipeline will trigger to deploy that particular code. Okay, so we will go CI/CD part later. First of all, we do all things manually so that we all should understand. So once we download the code from the GitHub server, here is the cloud build. So cloud build basically we in GCP we use for the CI/CD pipeline. Uh, Somewhere we use Jenkins also, but if you specifically look at the GCP side, we use the cloud build. So cloud build, what this do? This will create a Docker image first, and then push it into the artifact registry. What is the artifact registry? Artifact registry is a container where we store all our code, and then from artifact registry we make a deployment into the GKS. GKS is a Kubernetes services from the Google Cloud. Okay, don't worry, I will show this practical. Whatever I'm explaining to DevOps now, I'm show you in as a practical. So once deployment we make deployment, we apply the result, and we deploy into the into that particular pod or deployment file, and then we ask for testing to test it. Okay, so this is the whole life cycle. This is the fast forward I'm telling you. So now I'm going to show you practical. Okay, So if you see my screen, this is my personal ID, and this is one of the project where my this is the Kubernetes. Okay, so Kubernetes, we have one cluster. Uh, Cluster and all this thing are detail I explain. So cluster is basically a group of compute engine where we deploy the code in the pod form. So we required the cluster. If you see here, number of node is what, 8. So what is the node? Node is a collection of computer, like uh, uh, yeah. So if you see now here, like compute engine, if I go into the VM instance now, you can see this is the collection of computer. Okay. So total CPU is also mentioned, total memory is also mentioned. Okay. So first of all, I just go into that setup, uh, environment setup, and then I will show you how we are going to deploy this thing. So basically, this is the terminal in GCP. We get terminal our right side where we can download the code and connect with the all GCP resource. All essential tools are come under this terminal. Okay, so it will take some time. Meanwhile, I also show you according to this diagram. So code basically we need to download from GitHub server. GitHub anywhere we can see this is the open source, or github.com. You can create your own repo also. You will see in the course. Cloud build we are not configuring. This is for the CI/CD pipeline. Docker file we will create for making the artifact image. Here is the one important part is artifact registry. How we are going to uh, manage our image. So if I go here now, artifact registry, so you can see. So see, here I have created two artifact registry Vala repo. So this artifact registry is a collection of all my Docker images. Okay. So if you see, I have already a lot of Docker images. So Java, CMS, Jenkins, UI. Okay. So in this class, what we will do, we just create one Docker image, push this into the artifact registry, uh, which we are using for right now, and we will see our Kubernetes also. Okay. So Kubernetes I show you, artifact registry I show you. Now quickly, I just go for one demo how we can deploy the code. Okay, so deployment and then UI code. Okay, so I have some code there. We will take that only. Okay. So yeah, so if you see, uh, okay. This class is very high level view of what deployment is, how we are going to create a deployment. Once classes start, we will go through step by step. But right now, I'm going just for high level deployment. As you see, right now we have basically kubectl get ns. Kubectl we are using for the Kubernetes command. This is one of the Kubernetes command. How we use how we use to get different command in Kubernetes. So kubectl get ns is a namespace. Namespace is what? when we create our cluster, when we create our cluster now, so we can't simply deploy, we can deploy into the directly cluster also, default cluster location also, but in our case, if there is a multiple code and we virtually need to segregate, then we create a namespace. Namespace is what? It simply like a folder structure. You understand like that, we have one computer and we have different file. We create different folder like folder 1, folder 2, folder 3, and in there we put different object according to that particular different file. Okay, so okay, so here is the namespace is there. Okay, uh, okay. So if I take this namespace, okay. So no resource found in this particular namespace. So we are going to use this namespace only to create the deployment. Okay. So let's see how we can do this thing. Okay. So as you see, we have code. Code is in the disk folder, and here is the deployment file I already created, a Docker file. Okay. If I do the cat deployment file, no, no, sorry, cat. First, I need to explain the Docker file. Docker file. Okay. So in this, you can see, first of all, we need to use some kind of image, like to deploy a website we need server, like Linux server. We install Apache or Tomcat something, and then we deploy the website in the Docker environment. What we need to do, we need to download the image. So in our case, we are using the Nginx Alpine image. Okay, so this will download the Nginx Alpine image, and then what we are going to do, we need to tell what code we need to copy. So when we are using this command, copy from this to user share nginx html. So this is the default file structure of the nginx. Okay, where we are putting this dist folder, where are all the website content is there. Okay, and then here we are changing the ownership of this particular HOWN. So okay, this is used for the ownership. We are changing the ownership that particular folder location, and then at last we are exposing our application at port 80. Okay, so that this should be accessible. Okay, uh, just a second, one more time. Okay, so yeah, so expose port 80. So this is something else. So this will expose at port 80. Okay, so okay, now this is the Docker file. So and if I use ls command, this is the folder where our code is resist. Okay, if I do cd this and do ls, so you can see here all my file is there. Okay, if I do cat index.html, so these are all the content. Okay, so in this file, first of all, we are going to make a Docker image and uh, then deploy into the Kubernetes. So let's see how we can do. So yeah, So here our Docker file is there, our code is there. I show the Docker file how this will work. So to make a image from the Docker file, now how we can do? We need to use Docker build build command, and then we need to tag. Tag means how we are going to name this Docker file. So in our case, we need to store into artifact registry. So I'm taking the name only. So artifact registry path, so that later I no need to rechange this thing. So okay, so we will use Vala repository. Okay, and Vala repository. So this is the path. Okay, uh, I'll show you how we can use. So okay, so Docker build. This is the path where we need to store our Docker image. So so what name we can give? Demo colon v1. Okay, so and dot will tell ki where is our Docker file. Okay, so this is my current directory. Where is my Docker file? If I run this command, so you can see here my Docker file is start building, and it's done within no time, because I previously I also build. Okay, so within 3.5 seconds, all 8 step is done. Okay, so Dockerfile I also explained. So if you see second command, copy from this is also done. Third command, run from this thing, this is also done. And port is also open. Okay, so now what we need to do? We need to push into the artifact registry. Okay, so if if you see here now, right now there is no demo. Okay, dev wala UI is there. There is no demo image is there. So what we will do? We need to push into the this artifact registry. Okay, so if I just, oh sorry, there is a key tag by mistake I added, so I need to remove this thing. Okay, so now I'm going to push into the artifact registry. You will see my image and that particular registry here. Okay, so first of all we will see how much time it will take, and how this is going to push. Okay, so layer by layer this is pushing. So yeah, usually this is taking some time. Yeah, so my push is done, and if you see the size is here showing, and tag with v1. Okay, and this is the hash thing number which is giving. This is every time unique when we are pushing into the artifact registry. Okay, if you see here, I need to refresh. So in artifact, my image should be reflect. Okay, so yeah, can you see demo, demo just now? If I go into this thing now, also uh, yeah. So see V1 just now. This is push. Okay. So one more thing I just want to say is, suppose developer change some code, and again we need to uh, uh, make that Docker file and push into the artifact registry. So in that case, we no need to push all the code. Only whatever changes is there now, that is going to push only. So if I push into V2, yeah, this is build is also complete very fast. And if I push like this V2, so you can see all image is same, but for explaining you, you can see all these two show like V1 and V2 in artifact registry. There is no change. So if you see there is no already exist, already exist, already exist, everything is already exist. But still here this will show V1 and V2 in form of both are same, but anything we can use. Yes, see, V1 and V2 both are the same. So yeah, so in demo, whatever we created, only that tag is changed. Okay. So if I show you some previous thing now where I get different codes. So like if you see now here, uh, um, in this two tag there is no change, but in every tag now there is some kind of change and there is some differences also there. Okay. So maybe this is going very fast for you, all of you guys, but this is I just want to show you how we can do the deployment for a website. So that's why I choose this topic. Okay. So we push this into the artifact registry. This is done. Now we will see how our deployment is work. Go into the Kubernetes. Okay. So if I see uh, cat deployment. Okay. So some of deployment is already there. Okay. So yeah, in this I'm going to show you how we are going to deploy into our Kubernetes. Okay. So yeah, I will show you. So basically, in Google Shell Terminal, now there is a two component we are getting. One is terminal, other one is shell editor also. So editor is like that VS Code editor which we use for the edit the code. Okay. So UI, I am here. So I'm naming this as one because our file should be. So we are going to implement this thing. I'm not going to change in the original one. So what we are going to do, uh, history command we use to check whatever command we run. Now we through history we will get all the commands which we run. So yeah. So Docker get ns basically is for the checking the namespace. And if I check, okay, first of all, I will show you Docker get ns. So if you see, these are all the namespace in my Kubernetes. We are going to use this namespace for a deployment. As I will also show you, there is a there is no deployment is there. Okay. Uh, so we need to learn all this command. I will show you also. So kubectl get all. It means whatever services and anything is running in this particular pod in this particular namespace, you will get everything. Okay. So if I get run this thing now, so you can see no resource found in the digital transformation mobile dev namespace. Okay. So I copy this namespace Okay, and I go here. So this is the deploy. Again, I will show you ls. Okay. So as I show you deployment dot one dot YAML. So we are going to edit this thing. So edit we can do in two ways, like vi and deployment one dot com. Okay. So if we run this command now, here we can also edit, but doing this kind of edit now little bit error prone. So what we will do, we just simply quit without saving. We open editor. Okay. So if you see here, deployment is already written. Okay. So so here I'm choosing test UI deployment, and what namespace we in which namespace we are going to use transformation mobile dev. Okay. So replica set is simply replica set we are using the one. So replica set will tell how many pod we are going to use for this deployment. Whatever image we created lastly now, that image we are going to use only. Okay. So here match label is Vala UI. I'm not going to change this thing. Uh, yeah, I'm not going to change this thing. This is not required. Okay, this is not required. For Kubernetes, to understand the deployment, you need to understand how we write the YAML file thing. So this will take some time, but for the deployment point of view, I'll just show you how we are going to do the deployment. Okay, in Kubernetes. So if you see, we push that particular image. Okay, so we are in our deployment only. We are going to uh, use this image. Okay, so me central to Docker. This is my project ID. Project ID I also need to explain. So this is the project ID which we are using, and in demo column V2. Okay, so V1, V2, anything we can use. We push both. Simply we tag both V1 and V2 both. So okay. So if you see this deployment part, there is a two part. One is deployment part. In deployment part, we write we are going to deploy only one pod, and pod is a smallest unit of particular Kubernetes for the deployment. And for creating a pod, we need some kind of image. So in our case, we are using this image which we create right now. Okay, this is the main thing, image. Okay, and that particular image in Docker also, this is listening to port 8. Okay, so this is one part, and other thing we are using this service. Service, why we need to use service? Basically, create IP so that we can access that particular link, so that we can view our deployment. Okay, so for demo purpose, we are there is a three kind of services. For demo purpose, I am using the public IP, so that you people can also access at your end what kind of IP we are getting. Okay, so if you see, type is load balancer. So service, we if we go for the course, definitely service I also explain to all of you. Load balancer we are using, and port. This is the 80 port is what where our image is listening, and target port. If we want to change this thing now, instead of 80 we use 70. Then we can do here target port. But in our case, our container port is also 80 and target port is also 80. Okay, so this is our deployment file. Uh, So if you see these two components, when we are running this command, now get all. So right now there is no resource. Okay, once we apply this deployment file, now you will see our service will create, our deployment will create, our code is also will create. Okay, so now I'm going to apply this thing. Okay, and we will also get the public IP address. kubectl apply dash f deployment dot YAML. Okay, so if I'm applying this thing, uh, yeah. So are you able to see my deployment is created, my services is also created. Okay, so if I again do this thing, kubectl get all digital transformation mobile dev, you can see, yeah. Now we get our code is created. Okay, code is what we create the image. From that image we get this code. Okay, and if you see this service, in service we are getting this cluster IP. Cluster IP is the private IP. You are not able to access from the outside, but in our case we are using the public IP. Right now, this is showing the pending. It means this IP is not get any IP right now. So we need to wait 1 or 2 minutes. It definitely this will get IP, and this is the deployment. So we create two things: deployment thing and service thing. Okay. So these two things we create, and in deployment the pod is automatically will create. Okay. So yeah. So again, if I do all, you will see I get my external IP. Okay. So if you can also use this IP to get access the particular website what we make, what we deploy. Just a second, why this is not our deployment content should be shown here. Just a second, I need to check what is the issue. Here we are getting the response. Then why we are not getting the response from the deployment thing? Okay, continue to this side. Okay, so again, yeah. So if you see now, I'm able to see uh, the my deployment. So this is one of the project which I was working for my client. So yeah. So this is the thing. You can also try from your end. So yeah, so my deployment is working fine. Okay. So this is the IP address where you can check from your end, 34.166.29.54. Okay. So yeah, you will see the website content. Okay. So we can also see the log of the code, how this is uh, showing us the content. So logs. So these are all my logs of that particular pod where which we are getting this content. Okay. So I hope this demo session is informative for all of you. If you have any questions, you can ask me quickly.
Hi Anil,
Yeah, hi.
Prashant here. Thanks for your wonderful demo. Just want to understand, like from the demo, what I understood is like it is more over for DevOps and Kubernetes, or you are going to cover other parts as well.
See,
Like,
this is only for the yeah, I understand your question. This is only for the demo thing. So I just want to show you the main thing ki how Kubernetes work, how pod is working, how artifact registry is working. So definitely we are going to cover the VM thing also. Cloud function is also, Cloud Run is also there. So all these things we are going to cover. But for demo point of view, it's very difficult to explain all in 1 hour session. Okay. So if we go step by step, we will see uh, all things, whatever in your mind now, like cloud run, cloud function, everything we will
mhm.
see. Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. Thanks for that. Just can you show what all things you are going to cover under GCP DevOps,
Okay.
and what would be the duration of that thing to cover all the topics?
So I think before enrolling the in this program, did you get any kind of thing ki what all things we are going to cover? And just to show you
Yeah,
also. So
sure.
this is the thing which we are going to cover. And definitely, as I'm working in the industry, I have the knowledge of the also the latest technology, what is working, what is not working. So we can add or delete accordingly also. But these are the main things which we are going to cover. There is a compute thing is there. There is a network thing, services is there, load balancer thing is there, container is there, artifact, cloud storage is there, how storage will work. Okay. So yeah, git thing where we need to store the code, why we are using the code. So with that flow diagram, I also try to explain with 1 hour session. Docker thing definitely is there, because if you do anything now, Docker is very important. So Docker thing we are going to cover. Kubernetes thing also we are going to cover. Terraform basically to manage our infrastructure in well manner. So whatever resource like VM we are going to create, or cluster we are going to create through the Terraform only. Okay, so Ansible we are going to cover, CI/CD orchestration, whatever we are did right now manually, we will do through the CI/CD part. Also, we are going to cover. So these are the all the things which we are going to cover. And if you have any other question or any other thing which you expect we need to cover, definitely you can tell me. If required, definitely we will cover.
Okay. I think the course has most of the topics there. Just want to add, if you can correct me, like Jira, or are you going to cover Jira?
See, Jira is not a GCP part. Jira is a separate thing. Jira,
Okay.
yeah, if you required Jira thing, I also explain you how we are going to use the Jira, and I just show you as I'm working in industry. So, yeah, so if you see, this is the my conference thing. Okay, so we are working also with the Jira also. Okay, so if Jira is not a hardcore thing where we need to manage and all these things. So basically, how we are going to create a ticket, how we are going to close this thing. So all this thing, if you need it, definitely I will explain you. Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Sure. And any in automation you are covering, so will it cover the Helm part as well?
Helm chart basically is a critical deployment. So
Hmm.
Helm is this in this course we are not going to cover. So this is the DevSecOps part. So if required, I can explain you in briefly. But Helm is little bit bigger. Okay. So just a second. QCTL get all. So I'm going to delete this deployment. Okay. Uh, Open editor. So one more thing I just want to show you. If I do here replica set is zero now, and you have the IP address right now, all of you can access that particular deployment what we did. Okay. So if I again do kubectl apply command now, our code is going to become zero and you are not getting anything. You can check from your end also. So kubectl all. So if you can see my services is share here showing here. My code is not showing because I make this zero and the replica set is also going to be zero. So whatever we deployed now people are not going to access that thing. Okay. So that I use only for the demo purpose. Okay. So yeah. Any other question?
No, thank you, Anil. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Prashant, if you can also tell me about where, what are you doing and what is your expectation about this course? So, this will also help me to teach you people. Yeah.
Sure, Anil. So I work for an MNC company, and basically I know the Docker and Kubernetes in very detail and advanced all that thing, but in bare metal. So
Okay.
we got
Okay.
one project where we need to migrate everything onto GCP. So
Okay.
when I inquired about Visualpath, they told me that there is a demo coming up for GCP DevOps,
Okay.
and that's how I connected with them. And I want to delve into GCP because that is the current requirement I have in hand, and I want to upskill myself.
Understand. Understand. Okay. Okay. And Raj, you want to introduce yourself or something?
Yeah, so I had one other question before I introduce myself. Like, are
Yeah.
you going to provide the sandbox for the Google Cloud?
So see, if you have the Google account now, so in Google account and you have the credit card, because Sandbox is not available for the Google Cloud, you can register yourself in google.com and provide your card detail, and you will get $300 credit for your account, in which you can do all these demos. And I think these all topic will cover within 2 months. So $300 is enough to cover all these things. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So yeah, I also work for a MNC. I am a certified GCP architect.
Okay.
But I do have some blind spots, so I hope that this course will help me for that.
Sure. Sure, Raj. Okay. Okay. So any other want to introduce themselves? I'm okay, and else we can stop this demo. And yeah,
Yes, hi, sir.
hello.
Yes, I'm Igor. So, I'm a DevOps engineer also, and I got laid off just recently, and I'm also certified in Kubernetes administration and
Okay,
certified in Terraform Associate.
okay.
So I'm looking for a different position, but I noticed mostly, I was working on AWS as a DevOps engineer, and recently I realized that the market is becoming horrible and hard to get a job on AWS and Azure. Instead, in GCP, I realized that there is not much competition, it's less people. So I'm trying to learn transition to Google Cloud so I can have some knowledge and get some job uh, on GCP. I
Okay.
have I have one question also. I went
Yeah.
through the syllabus, but I did not find any part that specify on monitoring. I don't know if you have any idea if we're not gonna cover like to implement something like Prometheus, Grafana,
So
Elastic Search
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ELK. Yeah.
Yeah. So Prometheus Grafana we can implement in the deployment, but in if we go with the GCP course wise now, so I recommend with the GCP cloud monitoring is there. So
Okay.
in the GCP cloud monitoring, we will explore how we are going to use the GCP cloud monitoring, how we are going to use the log metrics.
Mhm.
So all these things we are going to cover. Okay.
Okay. Okay then. And also, do you have any real-time project that will be able to put on the resume? And at the end of this course, can you provide us some resume sample on DevOps uh,
See,
on
I understand your question.
GCP?
So if you want to resume sample and how we need to resume build, so you are basically from India or outside India?
No, I'm in United States right now.
Okay, United States right now. Okay. So
Mhm.
definitely, I can provide you the resume sample and
Sure.
some tips also how you can search through LinkedIn. Why I ask you where are you from? Because accordingly, because in India there is a Naukri.com and different kind of platform. So accordingly, we need to see what kind of platform in US you are using. Accordingly, we can provide, and definitely project is also there. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay. Thank you, sir.
thank you, thanks. Any other want to ask anything to themselves? Okay, then I'm good. Thanks all of you for your time. Thank you very much.